Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem, performed this afternoon by Peter Griffin and his dirt bike.
Hey, this is Ryan Villapoto, and listen to DMXS Radio.
All right, guys, welcome back to DMXS Radio. Appreciate you tuning in. As always, make sure you check out the Chad Reed and Daniel Blair podcast we just dropped. Thank our sponsors, quick, to make this all possible. Racer X, MX Sports, W Wheels, the new W Lab custom t-shirt printing division there at WLab.com. Saddleback tees are just $10 right now. OGO Concept 2 rowers. And, of course, the great folks at Dunlop Tires, the best tires in the business, including the new Geomax factory spec tire. Check them out at Ride Dunlop. And now it's time for the man himself. We haven't talked to him in a little bit. Austin Forkner. Welcome back, Austin.
What's up? How's it going?
That's all the energy you're bringing right there? That's all you've got?
What? Hey, guys. Hey, how's it going, guys? What's up?
You've been sitting on your ass on crutches and that's all you've got. You're not doing any cardio right now. You're not doing any riding, and that's all you've got stored up front. I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's what. Hey, I'm mellow right now. I'm really just chilling. It's kind of weird, honestly, because I'm like, it's like you typically when I've gotten hurt, I've been like, you don't want to quit training because it's like been earlier in the season, so you feel like you need to, still be doing stuff, still be where this is like at the end. So it's like I want to,
chill. You've earned it.
Like I want to chill. Yeah. I want it. So like being laid up right now isn't exactly a bad thing because I want to do nothing anyway.
Okay.
So it's just kind of weird like that.
Well, how are Riley and your son Atlas Hope doing?
They are doing that. She's actually visiting one of her mom's side of the family lives in Ohio.
Okay.
So she's visiting. Her mom flew out and she met her there, and they're visiting her family up there right now.
Okay.
So they're good. She's sending pictures of him.
Awesome.
He's happy. So it's basically hard to make him mad. It's kind of weird for a baby. Like I haven't been around a whole lot of babies from what everybody's told me.
Yeah.
It's like they get really mad really easily. You got to give them what they want exactly. Not really him. He's pretty chill. Like whenever he gets hungry, you should probably get his food decently quick. But as long as you get it somewhat quick, he's really. He doesn't cry very often.
Dude, that's awesome. That is pretty cool. You have a baby that's not a dick. I mean, let's face it, because a lot of babies are.
Yeah. That's what like I said, I haven't been around like a whole lot of babies, but that's what everybody tells me.
Yeah.
Is that like, oh man, like everybody's like, oh man, just wait, just wait. He's good now. Just wait till he turns 2. Just wait till your second one. Wait till this. So I'm just like, okay, maybe. You know what? Maybe your kid just
right. Yeah,
I don't know.
Your kid's a dick. My kid's cool. Yours is a dick.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a you problem, not really a me problem.
It takes a lot nowadays. Let's face it. Like the last 10 years to come up with a cool, unique name. I mean, everybody's thought of everything. You guys did it. I mean, you snuck out with a cool ass name.
Yeah, that's. I thought so too. I actually thought of that too. Riley had all these other names, all these other basically like country music singer names. Basically, like she's all into country music, and I was like, we're not naming our kid after
Luke
somebody
Bryan.
that sings country music. Yeah, I think one of the names was like a Kane, like Kane Brown or something.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
no, absolutely not. I'm not naming my kid. She had a couple decent ones, but I just came up like real early on, or probably I think before she was even pregnant. I was just like, you know what, it would be a pretty cool name. I think Atlas would be a pretty cool name. I just thought of like whenever I was growing up, my dad had the Atlas roadmap that he would always look at going to races. Like before we got like a Garmin or like a GPS or whatever.
Of course.
He would literally just look at the roadmaps. And so he had one of the big ones, like the big Atlas roadmaps in the center, like console of his truck. And I was just thinking, and I was like, Atlas. I was like, that would be a pretty cool name actually. And then I just mentioned that to Riley, just like, hey, if we have a boy, an Atlas would be a pretty sick name. She's like, oh, that's pretty good, but don't like commit to that yet. And so she was thinking of a bunch of other names, and he couldn't really think of anything that was better than Atlas.
Okay.
So he kind of just named himself. Like we kind of got to like 3 weeks out of her giving birth, and she was like, well, I haven't really thought of anything better than Atlas. And I feel like I just kind of slowly started saying, so whenever Atlas is born, so whenever Atlas is here, so whenever Atlas, I just started throwing it in, and it would piss her off. She's like, okay, that's not his name. We haven't settled on that yet. And I was like, okay, no, I'm just joking. But then he kind of just, named himself that way. So my plan worked perfect.
It did. When I think of the Atlas, it's like the Greek god that holds the world up. I mean, that you think there's so many different variations of that. And then Hope. What about Hope? Is that hers or yours?
I guess also mine. I didn't really think of it. It just like, we did that Hope, like kind of Hope, I guess, drop on All Fun that was cool.
I remember.
I kind of just, for one of my injuries, that was kind of like my go-to word, or like
your mantra.
Try to stay hopeful, stay not to lose hope sort of thing. That just was kind of like one of my, I guess, mindsets, or one of my things that I kind of tried to think on a regular basis through one of my injuries. And she was like, what if we named him Hope? And I was like, I don't really care what his middle name is. You can kind of pick whatever his middle name is. Like I didn't really care really ever what his middle name was, but she was like, I think that'd be cool. And I was like, let's do it. So
that's awesome.
But that's what I got a tattoo on my wrist of. It's a globe.
Yes.
And then I got Atlas next to it because that's kind of the same. It kind of is a mixture of the the dude holding the world on his back, Atlas holding the world on his back, and then I first thought of it from the roadmap, or like the Atlas roadmap, or the Atlas globe, or whatever you want to call it. So I found a cool globe tattoo that I liked, and I was like, that would be a cool mixture of all of them. A globe would be like kind of similar to the dude holding the world, but also the roadmap. So that's what I.
If Atlas were a girl, what were you guys coming down on? Did you have any particular ones?
On a girl, we have a couple.
Don't say them because somebody will steal them.
Yeah, somebody will steal them. I really like that song called, one of the songs that I would always play when me and Riley first met was Hey There, Delilah.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
I would always play that song all the time. I like Delilah. That's a little too, girly for Riley. She thinks that's a little, she wants something a little tougher. Not as girly. I also mentioned the other day that I really like Alice, and it's another A name, and it sounds like Atlas. Alice.
Atlas and Alice.
I mentioned Alice because I like the movie Alice in Wonderland, the one with Johnny Depp.
Of course.
I just love it. I can watch it as a 27-year-old and still be like, this movie's sick. I don't know. I just like that movie. So I said that, and she's not super. She's kind of on board with it, but since I picked the boy name, I think it's pretty much a guarantee that I'm not going to be able to pick the girl name.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of fine with that because I really only had an idea for a boy name anyway. I kind of said Delilah. I had 2 names. I was like Atlas for a boy, Delilah if it's a girl.
Yeah.
And now I threw in Alice, but he thinks Alice and Atlas are too close to the same. Like if you, hey Atlas,
Yeah, you'll be screaming.
They're both gonna come running. So I was like, that's actually funny. They won't know who's getting in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's I kind of threw one name in the basket for each gender, and she's got just a plethora of names.
Did you think?
Both, but not one really stuck as far as a boy went.
What did you possibly think about naming him after Mitch Payton and just calling him Mitch?
No, if I'm being honest, no. I didn't think about that. I feel like there's no way I could have a kid named Mitch just with the relationship that me and Mitch have, which is good.
Yeah, but it's still weird. Yeah,
Mitch being my boss for years and years.
You'd start twitching. Your eye would twitch. Such
a different. Like I'm always feel like I'm talking up to Mitch in a way because he's my boss, obviously, and then I would be talking down to my kid in a way, so that would just be such a different dynamic. But
how are you doing on diaper duty? I know you're used to getting roosted, but how about diaper duty?
I've changed, I think, 2 poop diapers.
Come on, Austin, step up your game.
Diapers are fine. I can knock those out, no problem. Poop diapers, I'm not a super big fan of them. And that's Riley's with him most of the time. So I kind of just say, hey, babe, I think you might need a diaper change whenever I think that, or maybe I try to time something if there's a poop diaper and I'm I think he needs a diaper change. I'm like, babe, I have to go.
I gotta go.
And I just try to think of something that I have to go do.
You hold this shitty smelling kid.
I just try to think of something,
Dude, step up. They're just going to keep getting worse. I mean, he's younger now. Wait till he goes to solid food. They're going to be nasty.
Oh, I know. She just started feeding him or kind of easing his way into solid food.
Yeah.
I think she fed him like sweet potatoes and I think she tried avocado the other day. So he's starting to ease into, he's like around 6 months, I think. So they said that's when the time to start easing him onto some normal food. So we're trying I know it's only going to get worse.
How did it come to pass that you threw out a baseball at a Major League Baseball game? The first pitch?
I have no idea. My agent, JH, he just called me one day and was like, hey, do you want to throw a first pitch at a Cardinals game? I was like, yeah, sure. When? He was like, the Monday after Bud's Creek. And I was like, sure. Yeah, that'd be, I mean, I'm not even really a big baseball fan. Like, I really am not a baseball fan hardly at all. I'm really not a stick and ball sport fan.
Yeah.
In any way. But I was like, that's just a bucket list thing.
Sure.
It's like singers or bands or whatever playing at like a halftime show or like the Super Bowl show. Like it's not even, it's just like a bucket list thing. Like that's a cool thing to do. So, I was like, absolutely. I will definitely do that. So,
how come there's no videos of this out there? Is there a video that I can go look at and critique your throw?
I have it. I can send it to you if you want.
Yeah.
It's my throw's not great. It's by no means great. But he caught it. So he caught it, and that was my only goal. I was like, if he can catch it, that's a win. I don't care if it's fast. I don't care if I throw it 40 feet in the air, lob the thing, and he catches it. I don't care. If he catches it, that's great.
So if he dives and catches it, that's still a win for you.
That's still a win. He didn't have to dive. He had to reach a little. It was like a little up and to the right. So he had to reach a little up and to the right to get it, but he caught it. So ended up in his glove, and that was a win for me. It's so, I don't know, you would think that like, and I was thinking about this while I was like down there doing it. You would think that with me being like a professional athlete race, I mean, we sell out stadiums of the same exact stadiums basically sometimes.
Literally.
But it was so like nerve wracking to go and throw a first pitch. Like it's such it was so weird just to be like in my element as far as like on a baseball stadium floor, which is like completely normal for me, but no dirt and not in my sport. Like it was just odd. Like it was just, I remember I was just like nervous as shit, which I'm nervous for every, every time I race anyway, but it was just a different, type of nerves. It was kind of weird. I said, as I was about to go up and do it, I was talking to one of the ladies that was taking me like down to the field. I was like, this is actually pretty weird to be on a baseball field and have it not have dirt. Like, this is kind of odd. I don't think I've ever been on a baseball field
without
or
mounds
a
of dirt.
Football field without it being dirt. So it was kind of weird, actually.
That is funny. How much did you practice?
None.
Okay.
I didn't practice at all.
Props.
Literally none. I haven't thrown a baseball in, dude.
Since you were a kid,
ever.
yeah.
I don't know if I've ever actually thrown a baseball because I never played baseball. I played basketball whenever I was still in school. But I really never played baseball. I don't know that I've ever hardly even thrown a baseball. So yeah, that was that's why I was just saying, if he can catch it, that is 100% a win because I got no practice before that. I got nothing. So yeah, he did. And my right shoulder, I've had like 4 surgeries on it. So the fact that he caught it, I was fine with that.
Well, unfortunately, that's your home, basically closest to your home, and then unfortunately, you dabbed your knee in St. Louis and ended up requiring surgery for the meniscus. So, how's your leg doing?
It's good. I mean, I want to already start. It's weird too because every time I've torn my knee up until this point, or had to have surgery on it, it's been an ACL also. So that recovery process is way slower. That's like 4 to 6 months, whatever. I mean, maybe a little bit quicker if you really rush it, but that process is just a lot slower. Like you can't even hardly activate your quad, like straighten your knee to be able to like flex your quad.
Sure.
You can't even hardly do that for like a month and a half after surgery. Like it takes so long just to be able to do that. And I can already like straighten my knee, and I'm already like wanting to take steps on it, which is like something that usually is like a month or 6 weeks minimum from the past ones that I've done. And I'm already like wanting to walk around on it. But I saw the surgeon on Monday and he was like, yeah, you need to give me a little bit longer before you start walking around on it.
Okay.
So, it'll be not as long as, not even close to as long as like an ACL, but it'll be a little bit longer probably than I wanted to take like on off season, a little bit longer, a couple weeks longer than what I would typically, I guess, take an off season, but is what it is. I'll be good to go for next year, whether it be East or West. I should still be fine. I mean, unless, I get back on the bike and it just doesn't feel very good. Yeah. But if it keeps going like it's going, I should be fine to go either way. So, yeah.
Well, considering your past, this was like nothing. Did you just walk in with no anesthesia and just say, knock it out? I got shit to do. Let's just go ahead and do this.
Yeah. I was just like, give me like a little numbing, like just a shot of like something to numb it, and just let me like just. I was like, I'm out of season right now. So if you still want to give me, the morphine or the whatever, I'm fine with that. Just you don't need to knock me all the way out. You can still give me the more, because morphine's awesome. So
the good stuff.
You can still give me that stuff, but whatever. But yeah, it was actually a pretty good. I came out of the anesthesia. They did a really good job of. I came out of the anesthesia within like a couple minutes. I was already talking and everything was normal. Which usudy I'm like,
that's the worst. You throw up.
Like messing around with Riley, telling her like whatever, just being how I am. So they did a good job, and we've unfortunately Triumph. We've had a lot of surgeries take place with this guy over the past, or a lot of guys go in and see him over the past like months, basically. Like all of us, seems like a bunch of us got hurt all at the same time. So we've had a bunch of. He is not like someone who's super familiar with dirt bikes, but he's pretty familiar now because he was looking at my knee and just like I have the
can't believe it
the Lars ligament in this one, which is the fake one that you go up to Canada to get. Yeah. I have a fake ACL in this one currently, and he was like, dude, what am I even looking at? At first he was like, I think your ACL and everything's torn. And then he was like, oh, wait.
What is this? It's a fan belt.
I just can't, this isn't really like popping up on the MRI because it's not like it's a fake ligament,
not live,
basically. It's not real. So he was like, this looks weird I'm gonna check it out when I'm in there because I think your ACL might be torn too. And then it ended up being fine. But he was like, dude, you guys are wild. He's like, I've dealt with football players, but you guys you're already wanting to walk on it. And it's been like 2 weeks and this guy's wanting to do this and this guy's wanting to do like, you guys are, so he's a little new to the moto scene. So we're having to kind of break him in on how we, as motocross guys, deal with injuries, because it's 100% completely different than any other sport out there. I promise you that.
Hey, you know, the most shocking thing I read in the little PR thing, when it said Austin Forkner, 27 years old, and I'm like, in my mind, you're still moved up from amateurs, and it's 2016. Like, where in the hell did 2016 to now go? It's crazy.
Oh, I know. That's going to be. 2016 is going to be 10 years ago. And that's like 3 months. Yeah, that's crazy. I know. I still was like, damn, I'm 27. Like that used to be the age everybody retired. Like everybody used to retire at 27. Like that's when Ricky retired. I think that might be around the age when James did. Villapoto. Like that used to be the age that everybody retired, and now it's definitely been pushed out farther for sure. Like I don't know why that is, but because racing's only gotten more like
intense.
We're racing more now than they used to be.
Literally.
I don't know why that's kind of been. I don't know. Maybe we can do more recovery stuff to kind of keep the body holding up a little bit better than maybe they did back then. I don't know. But,
and they made a shitload of money in a couple years, and they could get out.
Yeah, I guess the guys that I did list off are like 3 of the top 5 greatest, guys. So I guess that's a fair point. The guys that I the guys that I listed are literally James, Ricky, and Villo. That's like if you have the Mount Rushmore, those 3 are probably on it.
And that's why Chisholm's still racing, or was until whatever.
Exactly.
Hey, the good thing is, you got damn near a whole season in, which is a win at this point. Let's face it.
Yep, definitely. I mean, I wish I could have gotten the last 2 races in. I was really just bummed that I missed out on St. Louis, being that's my home race. But I think I did see that it's in the. Is it in the schedule for next year? Did I see that?
What's that?
I think is St. Louis in the schedule for Supercross next year?
Gosh, they just released that yesterday. I didn't even look at that. I know.
Somebody told me. I think maybe my mom told me that St. Louis, because I was bummed that I missed St. Louis. Obviously, like I wanted to race St. Louis just because I had a bunch of friends and family and everybody like there. So that stuff for sure. But I think they said it was in the schedule next year. So that'll be sick if I can get back there on that coast, depending on what coast I ride.
That's your home race, dude. You need to.
I know. That's because I've only raced there like once or twice. So
April 4th,
because I've always been like the opposite coast.
Yeah.
Or I've gotten hurt before, like right before it was like the next race, and I got hurt, or there's been multiple situations where like I just like missed it. Like I remember one year I was East Coast, and St. Louis was in the schedule, and we were like, sick. I'm going to be, and that was the year that they went Anaheim,
West
St.
Coast.
Louis, back to like San Diego or whatever. So like that, we were like, what the hell was that? Like St. Louis was the second race, and it was a West Coast. Like I don't think St. Louis was ever a West Coast before that. So that was one of the years when I missed it, and that was just kind of that was just a weird.
Well, I just checked April 4th. It's on the schedule, so you can go back.
Perfect. Awesome. Hey, that's sick.
Hey, Seattle, Seattle is February 14th. That's going to be cold as hell up there.
Isn't that an open stadium too?
It is an open stadium.
Oh my God. Why?
I don't. It's all about the schedule. It's all about I know, dude. That is going to be snowflakes. And
whose idea was that? Like, why would you go to Seattle in February? That seems like a bad idea just from the start. You know.
You're going to need hand warmers from the time you start the bike to the time you get back in the rig and leave.
Dude, that sounds.
Dude, I hate terrible. Riding when it's cold. I hate riding when it's cold. That is like, like I think my minimum is like 58, like 55, and 58 is like it's like if it's cloudy, it's got to be 58.
Yeah, no, it's not fun. I've ridden Supercross a couple times when I was in Oklahoma when it was freezing, like when it was below 32. So I've ridden a couple times when the track was actually frozen riding Supercross. That's sketchy. and it was cold as, like, we didn't, I don't think we did longer than 10s, because that's all that we could, that's all I could ride without my hands just locking up. And I can't even use my clutch, basically. So I was like, dude, we can do. Rob's like, oh, come on, man. I'm like, dude, I can't ride longer than, I need to pull over after 10 minutes and put my hand like on my exhaust, like, to warm it up. Like, I can't, I don't know what you want me to tell you. He's like, oh, you're just trying to do, you're just trying not to do long motos. I'm like, dude, it's not that. Like, it's 28 degrees right now. What do you want me to say, Rob? Like, what do you want me to do? Come on.
Robbie's a badass. Hey,
oh yeah, he don't care.
Hey, you know, your career has worked out differently than I know that you wanted to. What are your motivations now, as opposed to like 3 or 4 years ago when you're in the title hunt, you're going for wins, podiums every single race. This time you got a new manufacturer, new OEM. You've had some serious injuries. What are your motivations now when you go into a season, as opposed to, you know, in realistic expectations like 3 or 4 years ago?
I think it's definitely like changed, obviously. I think that now because I kind of was struggling with that a little bit this year too. Like at the beginning of the year in Supercross, when I wasn't doing very well, and I was like, dude, what's the point? Like what, why am I even here? What's the point? Like, if I'm not, because I've always been a win or kind of go down trying sort of guy, basically. So I've always been used to winning. And so even when I would, you know, I would win and then crash, it almost made the injury a little bit easier to get through, because I was like, hey, I went out on top. You know, I went out winning. I went out as one of the fastest guys. I went out whatever. Where this year was the first time that I, you know, wasn't one of the fastest guys, and I wasn't winning, and I wasn't battling for those top spots. So that was definitely hard to deal with at the beginning of the year. But then I feel like I had there were so many people that messaged me and were just like, they messaged me and they were just like, hey man, I got a bunch of messages that went pretty much like this. Hey, I know you're probably not getting the results that you want right now, but I just want to let you know that you being back out on the track is so motivating to me and my kid, or it's just, or even just them, it's so motivating to me. And just seeing you back out there, no matter what place you get, is awesome. Like, that's so motivating to me or my kid or whatever. And just the fact that you're back out there after all that you've been through and the things like that, that's cool. So I kind of shifted it from, like, my mindset, I guess, less maybe on me, I guess, in a way, almost more like
a message.
You know, if I'm out there, like, that's motivating to people, or people that's inspiring to people, or that's because I kind of, it's hard as a rider, especially me, that I've done a lot of winning, to kind of base a lot of your self-worth on how you do on the track. Like, that's if you're not winning, it's like you kind of, in a way, feel like you're a failure at everything. You know, like, you just feel like, man, if I'm not winning, why am I even out there? That's kind of has kind of always been my mindset. Is like, if I'm not battling for a top spot, if I'm not battling for podiums and wins and stuff, like, why am I even doing this? Like, what's the point? And so that was kind of my mindset this year. And whenever I wasn't doing very well in Supercross, that was really tough to deal with. And so one of the ways that I just kind of was able to get through that was like, hey, if I just realized that, you know, even if I'm not winning, or if feel like I'm a failure, like feel like I'm failing, just me being out there is inspiring to some people. Yeah. And they think that that's awesome. And that's helping them in their life, or go through their injury, or whatever. Like, this dude came up to me at Unadilla, and he was in a wheelchair, and we talked for like 30 minutes, and he was just like, dude, I get it. Like, he was like, I get it. Like, it's tough, the injuries to come back from, the mental side of things, all the things that I've just talked about in the videos that I've made after injuries, or just whatever. He was like, I can relate to that so much. And it's so cool just to see you back out here. And I was like, man, that's that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing that I feel like a lot of people maybe don't get to experience, especially like if you just win everything. If you win everything, I mean, yeah, it's inspiring, but on a whole different, it's a different level. It's really cool to be able to see and talk to people that maybe my story has actually helped them. Like that's a pretty cool deal. Like I know that because like I said, just like I was just saying about the dude at Unadilla, or there's been a lot of people this year that have just DMs or came to the races or whatever that are just like, hey man, like just want to let you know, whether you win or you get 15, just your story and what you just continuing to go out there and try. That's pretty inspiring to me and to my family, or whatever. So that's kind of been a new mindset that I have. Obviously, I still want to win and stuff, but there's just that side of things that's like, I guess that I am having a sort of impact like that on people just showing up at the races. So that's a pretty cool deal, and something that I guess. Yeah, that is a change in my mindset, or a change in maybe like I was saying, I don't, or like you were saying, I guess things haven't really, my career maybe hasn't gone exactly as I would have thought, but had it not gone the way that it's gone, I wouldn't be in this position. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a pretty cool position to be in. Would I have liked to won championships and made some more money and done that? Yes, but things happen the way that they did, and from that, I've been able to affect some people's lives. It seems like for the better, and that's pretty cool. That's really cool, and that's something that I wouldn't probably have done unless I was in this exact position, and everything in my career happened exactly the way that it happened. So I don't have any regrets in that way, and in a way, I think that is cooler than any championship could be. Like people forget about championships, but if I can help, if my story can be of inspiration to somebody to get out of a tough time in their personal life, I mean, that's pretty damn cool. So
that is, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I've seen riders reach every level of success. And I would tell anyone that that has given the sport as much as you have, your spirit of resilience is what you're going to be known for. I mean, you even turn the haters around. People that used to not even be Austin Forkner fans are now Austin Forkner fans because of your resilience. Because how many people, what percentage of people would have gone through what you've gone through? Between the brain surgery, your fractured back, all of your injuries, your shoulders, knees, ankles, toe, everything, and to still be out there with the positive attitude is your story, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, and especially this year, like that's what this year just added another layer to it, because this year was different. I didn't come back like I have years prior and been one of the fastest guys and been one of the, went down trying yet again, or been one of the fastest guys until I crashed, whatever. This year was much more of a grind as far as like, I really had to dig myself out of a hole and get this new bike to a good spot, get my body into a good spot, get my mental state to a good spot. There was a lot of things like that that I kind of had to work through this year, more so than years past, I feel like. And that is just another I kind of layer or chapter, I guess, to my story in a way, and another thing that I feel like people could resonate with. It's just another thing that I guess that I was resilient this year, maybe not so much from an injury standpoint, but just like, hey man, I wasn't getting the results that I wanted this year. I kept showing up. I didn't quit. I kept trying, and some races it didn't work out. Some it did. Towards the end of the year, it did start to work out, and it did start to show.
Sure.
So I think that little wins, even though they weren't wins, they were, a couple fifths and stuff. I think that was just another chapter of my story, and something that hopefully, or I guess people can latch onto, and they can, support it.
And that's why fans of the sport pull for different reasons. I mean, I watched all of the races all year long, and one of my favorites of the entire year was Washougal. And guess why? Because I got to see my boy back up where he belongs. And that's what's so neat about being a fan. And when you get these new fans, whatever, is your resilience and coming back. But that was just a great thing to see that, because injuries removed. How many championships do you have? Injuries removed. How many? I mean, the what ifs of this scenario are mind-boggling. But dude, your speed was still there. The fight is still there, and that's what's going to define you. Your legacy is set, and I think that fans that weren't fans before are fans for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'll probably go down as one of the fastest. I'll probably be known as, obviously, like you said, the resilience and stuff. But I'll probably be known as, obviously I'm not, I'll probably be known as one of the guys that had so much talent, but just didn't quite reach what everybody thought. Like somebody like maybe Trey or somebody like that. Like a lot of people compare me and Trey to one another just because, we were both really good. We had really good speed, but injuries held us back from what I think could have been a lot more. Trey still won a 250 outdoor Supercross championship, but that's, I mean, I feel like injuries held him back from what he really could have showed, because there were times when he was the fastest guy on the track in the 450 class. Like, he's faster than everybody. So, a lot of people compare me and him. So that's just, obviously I'm still trying. I'm not giving up. I really hope to be back battling with the guys at the front next year. But yeah, I mean, that's just add another layer. And now obviously Atlas being born, that's another personal, like not battle, but just a personal, thing that I'm dealing with and stuff, and adding that into racing and everything, that adds another kind of layer into racing and stuff. So just, life stuff, I guess.
Hey, it has to be freeing a little bit when you're a pro athlete, especially, since we know motocross and supercross, but all pro athletes, whatever, when you're defined by your results, I mean, what pressure is that like? And then it has to be freeing when you let some of that go and not being defined by the weekend's results all throughout the week.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why, that was kind of what I came to realize a little bit this year was you all, like, maybe this is just me, but I think it's pretty much every pro athlete, or at least moto guy. We base a lot of our, like I was saying, a lot of our self-worth and a lot of that, our value, on the results. And if we're not winning or we're not getting the results that we want, we feel like a failure. I mean, we feel like we're not. And this for me personally, I can let this translate into other things in my life too. If I feel like I'm doing bad in moto, then that I might feel like I'm a bad dad to Atlas because I'm not making the bonus money and not able to give him every single little thing that he's a baby. But you get the point. Like just that can translate into your personal life as well, of just feeling like you're not enough, and like it's not enough. You're not enough until you win, and unless you're winning, you're not, like, you just base so much of your self-worth, or maybe that's just me, but that's how I operate, is that I base a lot of my self, or I guess based as in the past, because I kind of made that adjustment to I kind of just came to the realization, and I'm not saying it's not I still have that battle, but that my value as a human and as who I am isn't necessarily defined by my results on the dirt bike.
Yeah, it has to be.
I mean, you kind of have to. You have to have that real. I'm sure a lot of guys have gone through that at some point too. That you kind of have to realize that at some point, is that, like, you put so much emphasis on it, but and to your fans, a lot of your to some of your fans, they do define you by your results on the dirt bike, because that's all they see. They don't know you personally. They don't see you behind the scenes. They don't know you as a human. So they do define you by your results a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But that's why they're your fans and not your family and your friends.
Mm-hmm.
That it's the personal people in your life that you have to, that know you and that don't define you by your results. That's kind of, and then like I said, I still have that battle. Like, I still am like, man, am I enough? Like, am I doing good? Do I need to do more? Like, I need to do better. I need to, I still, And there are times when I have to kind of be like, I think I feel like I'm a pretty good dad to Atlas, and I feel like I'm a pretty good husband to Riley. I feel like I'm a pretty good, I try to be a pretty good son to my parents, and a pretty good friend when I can. Like, obviously I'm not great at probably any of that. I'm not perfect at any of that, but I try to be the best I can at those things. And I try to be just a decent human just overall. So I feel like I have to remind myself sometimes of that and not let my racing get brought to the forefront too much,
Well, you were one of the kids that when you came up, you were that guy. You were the it guy. You were the ones blowing past all of the vets and all the older riders in that class. So the one thing I've realized in decades of covering this, the pace never gets slower. It always gets faster. So riders get slower. But when you can reconcile that in your own mind and go from podiums and wins to championships and then in this next chapter of your life, that to me is a sense of maturity that a lot of guys, if they don't reach that, they will literally go insane. I mean, they will be the most tortured human beings when they can't make that next jump into the next chapter of their life. Yeah,
it is. It's tough. I mean, I completely understand the battle because I've kind of gone through it, or I've gone through it, or currently going through just kind of those battles and those conversations in your head, I mean, yeah, it's tough. And I feel like one thing that is a little bit good for me, I guess back to kind of what I was talking about a little bit just a second ago, was the whole fans don't really know you that well. Well, I feel like in a way, some of my fans do know me pretty well, or they do follow me and think that they have an idea of who I am. At least maybe that's what they say. They just say, you seem like this, you seem like that. I've watched your videos. I feel your videos, I feel whenever you post and you're a little bit open, and you don't just make a generic Instagram post with something saying, hey guys, see you in a couple weeks, I hurt my knee, or, whatever. You usually, I see the videos and see the interviews and stuff that you talk about, and you're more than just a dirt bike rider. Like I feel like just being a real human, just being real to people, not every time a mic gets thrown in your face, you need to thank your sponsors.
Yeah.
And you need to go into, oh yeah, it was a great race, I'm ready to go for the main event. Like show some personality, show a little bit of who you are. If you want to talk about something that isn't maybe the direct question that was asked you from the interview, like talk about what you want to talk about a little bit, show off a little bit of who you are, just be a real human. And I feel like that's missing a little bit in our sport, and maybe in every sport, maybe just the world in general. I feel like everybody can be a little bit more real, and not just how it appears to be, what people perceive you to be, or from their perception or from their perspective, what they think you are, or who they think you are. Like just kind of be a normal person. And that's why I like doing these podcasts with you guys and stuff, because I feel like we talk about this stuff, and it's not in like a necessarily like super professional setting, like a press conference or something like that. Real. You're supposed to say all the right things at all the right times with all the cameras on you. We can just have a conversation, like a pretty open conversation, and we can, I feel like that is a cool thing that we need more of in the sport, just because it gives fans the opportunity to know you better, to know you for more than just your results.
I mean, everybody I talk to, Wygant, Sean Brennan, everybody that knows how important this is. You're a dream to like interview. You're a dream to get to, as far as the fans behind the scenes. If everybody was as open and honest and reflective as you, dude, it would make our job so much damn easier than trying to break through these concrete bullshit, podium sponsor talks.
Yeah. And there's that side, like the sponsors, the podium, but then there's also the side of like, man, everybody needs to sound like there's no weakness. There's no weakness to anybody, right. Oh, I'm dealing with it. Like, I'm not, oh, are you dealing with a little bit of an injury? Nope. I'm fine. I'm not hurt at all. Nope. No, never hurt. Nope. I'm perfect. Not dealing with anything. I'm great. Everything's perfect. So it's like, that's not real. Like I know that's not real. I know that every single person, whether you're winning or you're not, is dealing with something, whether it be a physical injury, a battle mentally, any of that, whether you love your bike, hate your bike, whatever, there's always stuff like that. There's always layers to everybody's story, basically. And I feel like some people just they don't want anybody to know anything, basically. Like, they want to just come off as somebody who has no problems, everything's going perfect. So they just don't say anything. Like, they don't talk about anything that they're struggling with, or really open up about anything, because they're just afraid of, I don't want my competition to see me and think that, that I have feelings, or that I have this or that. Like, dude, no one, like, they don't care. Like, it's like, that's what I don't really watch any interviews from any of my competition. I don't care, man. Yeah. Like, just kind of be open, and it makes the interview, like you were just saying, it makes it more fun, because you can have a normal conversation instead of every question just feeling like a robotic response that you would get on a podium or a press conference interview. If we want to do that, then just go watch the press conference interview. I feel like that's the whole point of things like this, like the podcast and stuff, is to get guys to open up a little bit more. And some of them, a lot of guys, they don't. They just kind of say what they need to say. They don't want to say that they're struggling with the bike and piss their team off or whatever. Like, it's like, just be real. Like, if you're struggling with this or that, I don't think it's the end of the world to talk about it. So that's what I try to just be real and open, and feel like that's why our talks on here are always great.
Hey, I did a podcast with Reedy. He obviously was just inducted into the AMA Hall of Fame, which he well deserves. But he said some stuff to me over the last couple of years, since he retired, that he's kind of like you. He's just very reflective and very self-aware. And he said the one thing that he wished he would have appreciated more at the time are those second and third places. Like he said, those podiums, because as you get into your career, you never know when it's your last one. I mean, how reflective is that?
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. That's same. I mean, same. That's, I feel the same way. As I wish I would have appreciated, even the fifth places this year. Like, I really did appreciate that one at Charlotte, even though it was one moto, even though it was whatever.
We see you.
I started second and I got passed back to fifth. I don't care. I thought I rode pretty damn good at that race. I was happy. I was doing the big rhythm and that rhythm section every lap. I did it every lap. I think I missed it twice of the whole main. I was doing that 3 on, off 3, almost every lap, which a lot of guys were struggling with. I thought I rode pretty decent then. And Washougal too. I rode good at Washougal. I came through the pack a little bit the second moto. The first moto, I started about where I finished. But I rode good. So I'm trying to do that before. Yeah, I'm trying to do that before my career is over. Is to just appreciate the seconds and thirds, or the fifth. Like I was saying, like appreciate the fifth like that, because you never know when it's going to be your last, and you never know. So that's something I'm trying to work on, trying to appreciate more, and trying to be a little bit more present too, because even. That is what is tough, that, I don't think gets talked about very much. It's like, dude, as soon as you work so hard to like just win a race, like just to win a race, you work so hard for that. Mm-hmm. And as soon as you're done, as soon as you leave the track that night, it's over. Like it's over. Like the next day you wake up, nobody really cares that you won yesterday. Yeah. Like no one really cares. It's on to the next. It's already, you're on your flight for this week. You're on your flight home, already thinking about the next race. It's like, it honestly, in that regard, it kind of sucks, because you never get a chance to really sit down and be happy, like to feel like you accomplished something, And that's what, I guess, unless maybe you win a championship and it's the end of the year and then you got some time off and you can kind of really enjoy that. Yeah. But if it's just a race win, like you're already so on to the next, that you don't even get to sit down and be like, you know what I did last night was cool. Like that was sick. And I should be proud of that. It's just like, nope, you're not good enough. On to the next. You won run race. Now win 2, now win 3, now win 4, now win the championship. It's like, you don't get to sit down and really be proud of that. So it honestly kind of sucks in that way, but that's just how the sport is, and how it's just like, it's never enough. It's never enough, which is kind of, it's good and bad, because in a way it's like, I mean, you just won a race, or you just got a podium or a fifth. Like that's pretty good. Yeah. Like you should be proud of that.
Best riders in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's in reality, it's really not that. It's really not like that. And then you have guys that win all the time that they get a podium and they don't even seem happy.
Yeah.
You know, they win a championship and they're like, yeah, this is sick. Thanks to all my sponsors. That's their podium interview. It's like, bro,
it is so.
You just won a championship. Do you understand? Like, but if you're used to winning that much, then it's just kind of another day. So that's what has changed my perspective as far as where my career's at right now too. Is that, you know, a few years ago, whenever I was winning all those races in 19 and 20, I did probably take those races a little bit just like sick. Like, hey, nice. I want to race. Like, that's great. Where now, dude, I mean, I would be over the moon if I won a race. If I got a podium, I would be over. It just changes your perspective whenever, you know, you've been in the trenches a little bit like I have this year, and, you know, it just makes those good finishes, it makes them all that more special, which is something that I'm trying to implement in my career right now, is to take the wins, even if it's not a win, take the wins where they are, meaning the seconds, the thirds, the fifths, you were down in the first turn and you came back to 10th, you know, or you came back to, you rode really good that race, but you could only get back to 12th or 10th or 8th or whatever. Like, that's a win sometimes. Like, you got to appreciate those and be like, hey, my result didn't show today, but I rode good today and I'm happy about that. You gotta, or maybe I have tried to have a little bit more of those wins, or find those wins where I can, more than definitely I.
And then you look at guys like Stal Robertson, one of the nicest human beings in the whole world. He retires at 23 because of injuries. I mean, you have no idea when this is taken away from you.
Yeah, I mean, that's you have. I mean, even Jerry, Jerry was one of my good friends. He was at my wedding, and then, you know, obviously, what happened to him happened, and you never know when things like that are around the corner. And I guess that's just life in general. You never know when you might wake up the next day. You might wake up with a headache. You might go to the hospital, and they may be like, "Hey, you got some real problems here." Yeah. You know, that's what happened to me. I had that crash at Dallas, and obviously that was a bad crash. And then to compound that, I go to the hospital, and they're like, "Hey, you're fine from hitting your head, but like you got something in your head that we don't even really know what it is. You need to see a brain surgeon, because this does not look good from our scans." And then next thing you know, you're having problems like that. So that's just, you never know what life can throw at you in that way. So you got to just, that's why I just was saying, I try to be more present. I try to appreciate what I have, and what try to appreciate the little things a little bit more, because you never know when life's going to throw another curveball at you.
Well, that's a good thing. I mean, it's human nature to live in the moment, and I mean, everybody has regrets. So, and I'm just glad at 27 years old, even though that seems old for a rider, you have a very mature outlook on life. You've got your wife, your baby boy, the perspective of what you're doing right now in your career. It's all in balance with what your focus and your goals are right now, and you can't ask for any more than that at 27 with the injuries in your past, Austin.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why I was saying earlier, like, I would have never gotten these lessons, and I would have never been able to come to this mindset without everything that's happened. So it's like, do I have wasted potential, as somebody say? Was I maybe the fastest guy that hasn't won a championship, or, you know, the different labels I've heard said about me or seen said about me or whatever? Yes, but at the same time, I'm where I'm at, and I've learned the things that I've learned, and you know, I have the life experience, or the just things that I've gone through, the knowledge and the I guess just lessons that I've learned, that there's, like, you don't learn unless you go through them. Like, that's what I just talking. Even it's funny because I've talked to a couple like sports psychologists and stuff over the years, and it almost it almost feels like I know more than them when I'm talking to them about it. It's like I'm trying to explain to them maybe what I'm going through, and maybe the ways that I've tried to overcome these mental battles or physical battles or stuff like that. And I'm listing this out to them, like, and they're just like, I've had sports psychologists literally tell me, like, yeah, man, I mean, that sucks. Like, I've had instances where they're like, kind of like they're stumbling over their words. They're like, okay, well,
I can't relate.
You know, have you like, they're stumbling to figure out what to tell me, basically, like what to work on, because I have gone at different battles in different ways, and the ways that I thought were correct or whatever. And there's been times when they've just been like, well, man, I mean, you kind of done everything the way that you're supposed to do it, the way that I would suggest doing it. So, I mean, maybe try these little things.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I don't know really what to tell you. And I'm like, sick. That's awesome. I appreciate that, man. I really do. So, but I would have never gotten these lessons unless I would have gone through it. So you can be a therapist. You can talk about things that, on ways that you think you should help people or lessons that you think you should, but unless you go through it, and that just applies to everybody's lives, unless you go through directly what they in their lives have gone through, or I in my life have gone through, or anything, you really don't know, you really don't know exactly about them or about the battles they deal with or have overcome or the lessons that they've learned in their way. It's all unique to every person. So that's just something that I've learned, and all this knowledge that I'm talking about is kind of just things that I've learned from the things that I've gone through. So, I mean, life is low at times. It's been a roller coaster for me, but I wouldn't change it because of the things that I guess just where I'm at in life.
And when Atlas goes back and Googles all your career and all your stuff, you get to show him stuff. I mean, you've left a really good legacy and lesson, for your son.
Yeah. And that's what I feel like is now that's kind of becoming the next chapter of my life is that basically, it's these, especially like once I'm done racing, whenever that is, that'll be, the basically that'll be the number one thing. I mean, it already is, but that'll take obviously racing out of the equation, and that'll make me, my sole only focus will be on Atlas and being a dad, which it already is. That's obviously the number one. I have to go ride and do my riding and stuff, but as soon as I come home, that's my main focus. But I just am hoping to be able to apply things that I've learned, and I literally have this discussion with Riley all the time, because I'm like, there's everybody that's like, are you going to let him ride? Because, I mean, if there's somebody that doesn't want their kid to ride dirt bikes, it's probably me. I've seen the kind of the dark side of the sport. So I say my answer to that is, if he wants to, I'm going to let him, because I'm not going to tell him no. I'm going to, I'm going to grit my teeth whenever I say that, because I know how it starts out, and I know what it can turn into. And I know, like, just how, it's so cute at first. Oh, he's just riding around in the backyard.
Yeah, little PW50.
You built him a little jump. Oh, that's so cute. And then you snap your fingers, and it's 2 or 3 years later, and he's jumping 30, 40-foot doubles. He's ripping, and it all of a sudden is not cute anymore.
Yeah.
And I know that process all too well. I've seen it with I've been through it. I've done it in my personal life.
Literally.
How it's, and I've seen a bunch of, that's just the natural. I know how that goes. I've seen it go that way with all my friends, in me in my life. And that's just how it goes. It's all cute, and everybody thinks it's all great at first. And then you start breaking bones, hitting your head, and doing other stuff. And it really quickly turns not cute anymore, and not really exactly fun in a way anymore. So, I'm not going to say no to Atlas riding, but I just am really going to grit my teeth and kind of just, I don't know. It's one of those things that's just going to be tough for me, just because I've seen so much of the negative side of the sport. I've seen so much of it that it's kind of tough, but if that's what he wants to do, obviously I'm not going to tell him no, just because of what we were just talking about. Is all of the lessons the majority of the lessons I've learned in this life that have helped me become the person that I am, have came from bad times. I've came from going through these struggles and these bad things. And does that mean I want him to, I don't want him, and I don't want him to I never want him to get a hangnail, basically. I want his life to be perfect. I want it to be, I never want anything bad to happen to him ever. I hate when he cries. When he cries, I almost cry, because I hate it. But in a way, I have to, raising somebody that just, that's how you get these soft boys, these soy boys. That's how you get people like that have never been through. It's almost like sometimes when I try to have a conversation with people who have never had any sort of struggle in their lives, or never had, they've just had the silver spoon their whole lives, basically. Yeah. I can't even have a conversation with those people.
How can you relate to them?
They don't have real work ethic. They don't have real experience and of going through something tough and overcoming it, whether it be a physical injury or not, just a struggle of some sort. There are some people that don't really know that, and it's hard for me to even talk to those people just because so much of my life has been based upon struggles and overcoming struggles. Doesn't matter if it's a physical battle, a mental battle, on the bike, off the bike, it's been about that. And I think that's a big thing that life is about in general. And so I want Atlas in a way to be able to learn the lessons like that. And unfortunately, you don't learn those lessons unless you go through struggle and you go through hard times and pain and all that stuff. So it's really tough for me. I think about that a lot whenever people like ask me, just because to me it's a lot deeper of a question than just, are you going to let him ride a motorcycle? To me, it's a lot deeper than that. It's more so of like, well, riding a motorcycle is going to open up the door for a lot of injuries, a lot of struggle, a lot of things like that, which he might get anyway. He might get that if he, has a normal life and goes to college. He might have little struggles like that and mental battles and hurdles like that to go through. But it just, it does, because I don't want him to go through that. But at the same time, I want my son to be tough. I want him to be just a strong man,
a badass. He wants to be a man,
and in a way, you have to go through those. That's what I was saying about like the therapist. Like, I feel like I know more than him because I've been through it. I've been through that stuff, so I know. And you don't learn those lessons unless you go through the struggle and you make it out the other side. That's the only way. That's the only way to get to learn those things and to become the person that I've become. So in a way, I want him to go through battles and struggles and stuff because that's going to make him better and stronger once he gets through it on the other side. So I have that conversation in my head all the time because I'm like, man, like I want him to be I want him to be a better man, a strong man. I want him to be resilient and to have, determination and to be motivated and to not give up. But a lot of those lessons are only taught to you whenever you go through bad times. So, and I don't want, like I said, I don't want him to even stub his toe.
Yeah.
So,
hey, but you can
that's
tell
a tough battle, and that's just another, battle that I'm going to go through as a father, I guess. So
and
that's going to be a little tough, but it'll be good.
And you can tell him that your dad beat Hayden Deegan straight up before his contact lens fell out and I crashed.
Yeah. And Jet. I was beating Jet when he was a rookie or his second year in the 250. I was beating Jet too. I was beating the top guys in both classes. I did it once upon a time. That was your dad. That was me. I was there once upon a time. And so I'll tell him that. I'll make sure he knows that his dad was a badass once upon a time. Okay, so give me the respect. Come on, put some respect on my name.
Now do some damn chores. All right. Well, hey, we'll give you the Dunlop 5 questions and let you get out of here. Another awesome. Just if you're a rider, I know that they give some media interviews and stuff or lessons and classes at club and things. Listen to Austin Forkner talk. This is how you need to teach your riders to be from the beginning, and that way there's no revelation as they come, from. My tire's hooked up to the real world. It'll be a lot easier. All right. What is your favorite trophy and why, Austin Forkner?
I'm trying to think. To be honest, my favorite trophy is the old trophies at Loretta's that they gave.
The big ones.
I just missed the stone trophies when they gave those custom stone trophies. I missed those by 1 year. I literally missed it by 1 year. But I still got the wakeboard when they gave you the wakeboard and whatever other trophy that they gave. I don't remember exactly what they went to after the stone trophies, but I'll just say probably the wakeboard from Loretta's because that was the old days at Loretta's. Like that was I'm so mad that I missed getting one of the stone trophies by 1 year. I literally won the year after they quit doing that. But I'll say the old Loretta's trophy, though I think that's just a wakeboard, but those were sick. Or even the mammoth one that's the custom made,
the wood
custom bears.
Yes.
I think they still do that. That's cool too. But I'll say that unfortunately Loretta's trophies have gone down majorly since what they're definitely not what they used to be. But the old ones were cool, and And even just that number 1 plate from Loretta's is still just a cool deal. But yeah, the old Loretta's trophies were super.
All right, what is in your I Love Me room? Do you have an I Love Me room, a trophy room, or all your stuff?
I have a loft in my house. We don't really have that many of my trophies here in Florida or in Georgia, I guess, because a lot of them got left in Oklahoma, so they're like at my parents' house or whatever, and they're in a storage. Most of my stuff's in a storage locker that my mom has somewhere. I think, to be honest, I don't even have most of my trophies here, but I do have a loft area, and it has like a gaming area, and then it has some gun stuff. It has some guns and some gun stuff. So that's my chill area, I guess, is pretty not super anything crazy, but that's what's in there.
What is your most prized jersey you own that is not your own? Do you have any?
Yeah, I have some. I think this is probably I believe I have a Jimmy Albertson jersey that I got when he had just went pro, and he was 702, I believe. He may have even still been. I think he was 702, I believe. He had just went pro, I think, and I got it from him at a local track in Missouri called. Damn it! What was that track called? It's closed down now. I forget what it was called, but he gave it to me then because he was like the top Missouri guy, but he had just or he was either about to go pro or had just went pro. So he would really hardly ever show up at like the Missouri state races and stuff. Like and then he showed up at one. That would be like me whenever I went pro. Then all of a sudden showing up at a most state race, like that's just like that was pretty rare. So when it did, I was like, "Yo, Jimmy, you're like." I was on like a 60. I was a kid, and I was like, "You're sick."
That's
he gave
awesome.
me one of his jerseys. I don't even honestly know where it's at, but that was just a cool. That was really cool. I have a picture of him handing it to me or whatever at the track. Whatever I don't even 100% know that it was a jersey, but I just remember he gave me something. I'm thinking it was a jersey, cool. And I thought that was the coolest thing.
All right, who is your favorite foreign rider of all time?
Foreign rider.
You got to watch Reedy come up. Got to watch Marvin. You got to watch
Reed, Marvin, Kenny.
Villeman, Kenny's. I mean, these are all good dudes. I mean, so
I'm debating saying a foreign rider that came to the States or a foreign rider as in like a MotoGP only guy. I'm kind of gonna say that. And I want to go with Hurling. Just because
Sandman. Yeah.
I raced him at that Charlotte MXGP back in like 2016 or whatever. That was fun. I beat him. I was so stoked to say I beat Jeffrey. I thought that was the coolest thing. Even though he beat me in the overall, I beat him in the second moto. But I thought that was the coolest thing because he was just known as like a beast. Like at that time, one of the best 250 riders, whether it be over there or over here. So I'll say him. He's kind of gone through had a rough couple of years too, and so I'll say him. I think he's.
Hey, make sure you tell Atlas you beat Jet, Hayden, and Hurlings,
and Hurling, not Webb. I didn't beat. Well, I did beat Cooper. I beat Cooper the last race of that year at Ironman. I beat Cooper.
Okay.
So I'll say, so I can say I beat Hayden, Jet, Cooper, and Hurling. Man, no one can say. I can say that.
Yes.
Damn. You're giving me a big head here. We need to end this interview before I start to get. I'm gonna start to not want to do these podcasts anymore. I'm gonna be too big for you.
Hey, that is the way to end the interview. You're just adding to all of your legacy with that. And so when you say, Alice, go do your damn chores. I just told you I was a badass. I'm your dad. Go do your chores.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I need to start. I need to start reminding him, remind myself, remind him, Ryan Riley. Like,
yes.
Hey, like you know whose dinner you're cooking for right now?
Oh,
like,
shit.
This is that would be. I can tell you that would be the end of that.
Okay.
That would be a bad night. You want to go to bed in a bad with with a bad atmosphere. Uh-huh. That's how you do it right there.
Yeah, I was going to say you're talking big when she's in another state. You dumbass.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that. If she was here, I would be be watching my tongue. But yeah, I'm gonna not tell her that I even did this podcast.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, don't go listen to that.
I'll clip the 5 questions off.
Yeah, it was just we didn't really talk about that much. You don't need to go listen to that. So.
We'll cut it off right after you talked about beating Jet and Hayden. We'll just cut the interview off.
There we go. We'll end it there. And don't forget Hurlings and Webb. Yeah, don't forget Hurlings and Webb. So
right.
yeah, we'll end it there. That was a good way to end that.
All right. Well, Austin, we love you, brother. Thank you so much for catching up with us, man. Heal up. We look forward to 2026 with you and continue to be fans of what you do, what you represent, man. We're fans of you as a human first and a rider second, husband, dad, son, all that stuff, man. You're what people should aspire to. So thank you, brother.
Yeah, thanks. Always like doing this with you guys. So all right, awesome. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, brother. Thank you.
Yep, have a good one.
You too. All right. There we go. Austin Forkner. Again, if you don't like him, we can't be friends. I don't know what else to say. Just kind of a positive guy. And the good thing about Austin is we text, back and forth when there's not stuff going on too. But whenever I text him, whether it's super serious, he just won a race, or he just crashed his brains out and threw away a championship, he always answers the text. He always comes on the show. He never dodges media, not just all shows. He's his character speaks volumes to his character. That he doesn't run and hide from the criticism and all that stuff he's endured over the years. We certainly could have easily had a 2-3 championships at this point coming through. The what ifs, he doesn't live there, which I'm glad to hear as well. But thank you for the Dunlop 5 questions as well. Best tires in the business, including the new Geomax Factory Spec tire. Check them out at Ride Dunlop. Thanks again to our sponsors, Racer X, MX Sports, W Wheels, W Lab, the new custom shirt printing division at WLab, DUBYA lab.com. OGO Concept 2 Rowers, thank you. And we are back when we're back. Peace.
This is Justin Brayton, David Iser, and Kevin Keller, a bunch of clowns. You can go ahead and turn your radio off now.
Get ready, America, because WUSA is your #1 source for quality wheel sets in America. WUSA offers all the top brands that you and the world's best racers know and trust, like Reed, Dungy, Millsaps, Tickle, Sealy, Short, and more. All rely and trust WUSA, because all our wheels are built right in our shop in Orange, California. And if you want it custom made for your bike, like the world's best freestyle riders, Renner, Deegan, Adams, Madison, Mason, Sherwood, and others, you can choose different spoke and nipple colors for a completely custom look that'll dazzle you. Off-road riding, WUSA can build you wheels for the absolute toughest of conditions. And W also offers DID and Excel rims, along with OEM replacement spoke and nipple kits for your stock hubs. Need brakes? W offers the industry's best oversized and standard brake kits from Galfer and Brembo. Just see your local dealer or visit us at WUSA.com. Hey, you can also download the most current W catalog from the iTunes App Store. WUSA, DUBYA USA. It doesn't get any better than us.
You listen to us because we are motorcycle guys. You might even call us gurus. We are awesome.
I've been called a lot worse than that, Kevin Kelly.
Yeah, we're the guys. We know everything. I know everything about you. I know everything about movies. I know everything about the space shuttle launches and the crashes. Everything.
And because you turn to us for motorcycle knowledge, we only tell you about what's the best, Kevin, because our spotless reputation that we've built for 16 years is on the line. That's why.
Yeah, and I would not risk my crappy reputation on just anybody. That's why we are telling you about Dunlop tires. It's what we have on our bikes. I have a fleet of motorcycles, and they all have fresh, crispy Dunlops on them. If the pros have them, you know us amateurs going to have them. They're good enough for them. They got to think they're good enough for us dorks.
Too good for Dunlops, you're a tire snob. We want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, good luck with that. But not just the pros use them. Everyday riders agree, and they have the testing to back it up. You can't beat the quality of Dunlop motorcycle tires.
Let's wrap this bad boy up, Kevin. Whether you're on the dirt, the road, or the track, you can depend on Dunlop. To learn more about their products, visit DunlopMotorcycletires.com or your local pro dealer. The amateur guys are working their way up. Go to a Dunlop pro dealer. Check them out. We love them. You will too.
It's the cry of the lion, the burning in your soul. And it's the feeling that you get when your back's against the wall.